Hi, my name's Belinda. I've suffered with migraines for years. I had my first debilitating migraine at age 10. I can remember laying on the couch feeling like my head was going to explode if I moved. Every movement, noise, or smell was torture. It was also the first time that I knew I would have to figure out a way to live with the agony that accompanies migraines. After the second day, I was yelled at that I was just being lazy and trying to avoid doing chores, that I needed to get up and stop being lazy, that nobody could have a headache that bad. That's the stigma that goes hand in hand with migraines and headache disorders. My migraines have changed over the years, as have the ways to treat them. But every trip to the ER seems fruitless when you are told you just have a headache. I eventually stopped going. As a result of not seeking medical attention when I needed it, I ended up losing feeling in part of my body, permanently. The headache that I was going to the ER for was actually a TIA. The diagnosis for my types of migraines have changed over the years, with and without aura, atypical, ocular, complex, or complicated. Migraines are hard enough to treat without throwing on things like allergies or medicine complications, which I also happen to experience. But what about migraine variants? If migraines are difficult to treat, can you imagine the complexities of dealing with a migraine variant? Unfortunately, I can. We live with it. This is my son, and this is what I have done to him. Not on purpose, of course, but having migraines myself, he is more prone to them. Maternally passed down genetically, he inherited migraines and this migraine variant from me. Let me tell you that what I have done to my son is worse than any migraine or headache that I could ever have. He has been suffering for years with a condition called cyclic vomiting syndrome, also referred to as abdominal migraines. It is a rare disorder, listed in the top 10 rare diseases. Finding medical professionals familiar enough to diagnose and treat it is unfortunately just as rare. He experiences frequent migraines and usually everyday headaches. But the worst of his condition is the uncontrollable vomiting that can last from 2 weeks to 15 weeks in our case. A typical case of CVS, or cyclic vomiting syndrome, is vomiting for a few hours to a few days. He also tends to be like me in regards to medication. He didn't respond to typical medications used to treat his condition. They happen to be medications used to treat migraines. He has frequent hospitalizations, has required IV infusions to survive, a PICC line, a feeding tube, things that no kid his age should know about. He was forced to leave traditional school his sophomore year because he had been too sick to attend, struggling with attendance and illness since the end of his 8th grade year, a condition that led to the chronically ill designation. The scope of his suffering has completely eclipsed my own. Watching him struggle, miss out on life opportunities, and almost miss out on life itself has given me a new mission in my own life. More research and awareness needs to be done not only for migraines, but their variant and associated disorders. The more we find out about one, the more we can potentially help the others. I hope together we can bring more awareness and research to migraines, cyclic vomiting syndrome, and other headache-associated disorders.